Hello to my Leos. This is Queen Amon Ra coming to you with your general reading, Leos. Let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right. Leos. This reading is for Sunday, October 19th through Sunday, October 26th. You may be watching this video on Saturday, October 18th when it's filmed. The moon is in Virgo. And so it could affect your digestive tract, small intestines, your pancreas. So obviously you want to, or you're getting your downloads, right? Virgo and Geminis are ruled by Mercury, the communication planet, right? And so but Virgo is a receiving sign. So you are receiving, you're in receiving mode. So you definitely want to be in a space where you are grounded. So you can be in receiving mode, not a whole lot of chaos and confusion going on around you, not a lot of distractions where you're getting some messages. You're getting some messages. You want to be able to take some notes. Write them down. You're getting some downloads, right? So, and then on Sunday, when the moon is in Libra, where it could affect your veins, your skin, your bladder, your kidneys, getting out and getting some fresh air. So on Sunday, Monday, and part of Tuesday, it'll be in Libra. So really getting out and getting some fresh air, trying to balance some things out, maybe going for walks and things like that. So you can purge, like really purge. On, the afternoon of Tuesday on that new moon. Anything that's around unhealthy sexual practices in the past, anybody that you can think of, like, okay, you may have regretted dating this person or getting married to that person or sleeping with that person, or you feel like something really wasn't sacred, or anything around money, like you may have felt like you spent time around somebody, just it was a waste of your energy, waste of time. Then you want to purge all of that, forgive yourself, close out the cycle. You know what, I forgive myself. I want to hold on to that heaviness anymore. I want to move on from all of that, right? And then, by the time Friday moves around, that moon is Sagittarius, where you're starting to think just how lucky or blessed and highly favored you are, or I'm feeling good, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So somebody's mood should be higher by Friday, not just because, hey, TGIF, right? But somebody could really be counting their blessings by Friday. So this is where you're saying, okay, I'm balancing out. I'm taking inventory of some things on Saturday. I'm getting grounded. I don't have a whole bunch of distractions around me. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or at least the beginning part of Tuesday, I'm balancing myself out. I'm really thinking about who has been open enemies in my life, like who have I had their backs and they stabbed me in the back, right? I'm really seriously thinking about this. Loved ones, I don't care who it is, they've stabbed me in the back. I'm looking at I'm being meticulous with it. I'm literally people that I've had. I'm talking about my heart has been in the right place towards them, but lo and behold, when I really needed them to be there, heart towards me, boom, they were with the sword in hand, right? Recounting all of my dark points, making themselves look like, they're just the light and I'm just the darkness, right? So this time to wrap some things up. It's time to close out some relationships so that you can make room for, like I said, traveling light. And that's when the moon is Sagittarius, you're traveling light. I will accentuate the positives in my life and in others. Yeah. The more you keep energies around you where they keep talking about, you're arrogant, you think you this, you think you that, guess what? You're going to keep on repeating. You're going to keep sending out energy. I don't want this type of energy in my life. I don't want that type of energy in my life. You're going to keep putting it, and that's what you're going to keep attracting. We're constantly in sending and receiving mode. So that's why when the moon is in Virgo, or just any receiving zodiac sign, in Virgo, it just happens to be a receiving, because it's ruled by communication planet, Mercury. You want to be grounded somewhere where you can be in receiving mode, no distractions around you, right? So you can start to say to yourself, okay, I got what I prayed for, who I prayed for, the circle of people, all the stuff I prayed for. So I'm sitting here counting my blessings. So I can really be in this space where I've worded something. I can look at how I word some things. So I don't have to say I don't want this and I don't want that. I have what I prayed for. This is what I spoke into existence. And really mean it. This is what I spoke into existence, and this I really mean it. I spoke it into existence. Current energy, Temperance card. You're learning how to see something from a higher frequency. That's how you're getting in harmony with yourselves. What you're realizing that a lot of people are doing a serious reset. Some people really don't want to reconnect with traumatic experiences. That doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them negative, right? Doesn't make them negative at all, right? It makes them balanced out. Really makes them balanced out. Because imagine if you always positive, 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 right? Positive, negative, but they're balanced out within themselves. They're looking at their life in a realistic way, right? That person negative, sometimes they positive, sometimes they negative, sometimes they just being realistic. Source is saying that's your reality. You've had some positive experience, you've had some negative experiences in your life, and you're weighing some things now. And so as you're purging, you're counting your blessings that you even have it in your mind to be in a space where you can sit quietly somewhere, this is the moon in Virgo, and receive some downloads, whether it's by ocean, on a plane, in a jet, helicopter, in your garden, planting some new seeds in a planter, or a planter or a garden, sitting down at a dinner table, riding a bike, in your neighborhood, just driving a car, taking your car out for a ride, wherever it is where you're just in your quiet space, just you and your thoughts. Somebody, that's what you prayed for, right? And you're sitting there, you're like counting your blessing wherever you are, whatever phase that you're in. Are there any blockages? Any blockages? Okay. All right. Yeah, so the blockage here, or could be for some people, is that some plans fell apart. Some plans fell apart. Somebody could have been thinking small, travel problems, fear of change, playing safe, right? And so, but if, again, something could have reversed because somebody could have been playing safe. Again, this speaks again to, or somebody could feel like you're playing safe. Who knows? But bottom line is that something has been reversed, put out. The flame has been put out. It's no longer lit, right? The flame is no longer lit. And that too is okay. You don't even have to talk. You don't get no more air to it. No more air. It's like somebody's plans, your plans and somebody else's plans have gone in a different direction. It doesn't have to be a challenge. Something does not have to be a challenge. That's why it says you will accentuate the positives in yourself and in others. So you and somebody are apart. Right? King of Cups here. Somebody is saying that you are a great parent. You're empathetic. You're balanced out. You're controlled. You're understanding. And so you're tempered, right? Here's the King of Swords here. Somebody is a very powerful leader. So things are good. Things are working out the way that they're supposed to work out. And this is what I'm saying here is Source is balancing some things out for you. So what somebody may have thought would have worked out, this is where as Source is, what the enemy meant for evil, Source turns something around for your good. Yeah. What some of the energy that I'm picking up though here, let me see. Here's the Empress card. Somebody was dealing with a bully. Who likes to accentuate the negatives in themselves and in others. Right? Somebody was dealing with a bully. This is another fire sign. Who likes to accentuate the negatives in themselves and in other people. So I see your abundance and your prosperity growing, right? See your abundance and your prosperity growing. Something is over. Something is over. There's a death card. You're on the rebirth card. I mean, on the card. You're on the rebirth side. You're on the rebirth side. Yeah, you're on the rebirth side. This is where somebody is really, really learning how to give people advice and just accept whether they accept it or not. You know, like you're leading people to water, but you're not forcing people to drink it. You're just saying, okay, hey, nope, not a problem. You're just leading people to water and not forcing them to drink it. And that's okay. Just being at peace. Here's the Magician card. So you're in the rebirth of somebody is getting more focused. Somebody's turning their visions into reality. More willpower here. This is Mercury, by the way. So some more willpower. And so you're fulfilled. You're feeling fulfilled. You're feeling fulfilled. And this is a good thing. All right, so here's the Two of Swords here. And this is where you're getting messages actually now from your ancestors, so that you don't feel blindsided. Somebody is now paying attention to ancestral messages, which is, again, you don't have to carry people on your back. You know, like I've been saying, take off the super Leo cape. You don't have to carry people on your back. You can, lead people to water, but you can't force people to drink anything. So something is over. Something is over. Something is over. Here's the Three of Swords here. Yeah. Somebody can move on from saying that they're heartbroken, deeply disappointed, mind games. Somebody can move on from all of that. Like somebody can move on from talking about your peace being disrupted or disrupting other people's peace or something, whatever you may have been talking about. You can move on from all of that. All right, here's the Five of Cups here, and just put the past behind you. Put the past behind you. This lets me know that somebody is, like I said, you can put the past behind you. Here's a Hangman, because you've sacrificed enough. This is where somebody's having one last cry and just saying, you know what, you've sacrificed enough. You've already sacrificed enough. You can just release something, because something is over. Something is over. Let me see what else is going on in this reading here. Yeah, something is over. Somebody felt like what was accentuated was the negatives in them and in other people. And something ended somebody on the inside. So I'm not really sure what the nature of, because this is the World Wide Web, so I don't really know what the nature of conversations or whatever was and who all was involved in what. But somebody just decided, hey, something, because the 5 of Cups connects us with Scorpio, 5, 6, and 7 of Cups connects us with Scorpio. So somebody never made it to the 8 of Cups. They just said it's over. Something has just ended. This is a major arcana, the Death card, right? And this is in the minor arcana, meaning that the overarching for them, something is over. Like a generational curse has been broken. That's a decision, right? So somebody has a guardian angel that is kind of like taking over a situation. Something is over. A curse has been broken. They don't need to get the 6, 7, or even 8 of Cups. It's over. Too many sacrifices have been made. Something is over. So this is the outcome here, is accentuating the positive in yourself and in others. Because by the time you get to this, it's something is so intense, right? It's like literally finding out generationally, and trigger, right? Trigger warning. It's literally like finding out generationally that you hear it all the time, that words, words could end a person, right? And just constantly telling the person you're not smart enough, you're not smart. And they really believe that they're not smart enough. And then no matter what they do, they just always just stuck. They just stuck. They just don't feel like they're good enough. And just one day they just decide, hey, I guess I'm not, right? So this is, again, how positive work, even if you're joking about it. Somebody finally said, okay, or the constant comparison which people do is, oh, this one is better. They think, okay, well, you need to be more competitive, but it's just the underlying, this person is better than you are, or this person is, but generationally, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And there's, so this is where, for some people, somebody's really kind of sort of learning how to gauge people's temperament. Somebody, like how it travels, how information travels. Somebody's learning how to be in receiving mode. Better learning how to be in receiving mode. So, yeah, somebody, doesn't make somebody weak. Something could have been happening so long generationally, passed down from let's go back as far as great grandparents all the way down to somebody. And so somebody's now going to start looking at their kids and grandkids. They got to be careful what I say, because you never know how far back they pulling it and how it's affecting them. Even if they share your birthday, even if they share your same name, even if they grew up in the same house as you, they could be pulling from somebody else somewhere else. So somebody is really, learning how to empty themselves out of, like, okay, I got to be mindful of something. I got to be mindful of something. I can't joke with everybody. Here we had a Queen of Wands. So something happened. Yeah, something happened, and here we have manifestation. Here we have moon magic. Yeah, somebody's into some, dark moon magic. So I keep trying to tell people, like, you can use the moon for good. Like right now, the moon is in Virgo. This is a great time for people to do a little cleanup around the house. Put that, if you had a project that you were working on during the week. I know a lot of people don't like to take work home, but some people do. Some people say, you know what, I got this thing I was working on at work. I don't want to be, inundated when I go into the office or whatever, working from home or whatever. So let me do a little bit here with this, a little project, this and that, whatever. Or this, I had this project I was working on that's been sitting over in the corner for a while. And today is a great day to do it. That's the upside. That's the light side of something, right? Of learning how to, when you're in these moon phases, right? is saying, okay, I'm listening to my body. My body, let me eat something that the food is going to easily pass through my body on when the moon is in Virgo. Let me focus on this is a great day to put together my diet plan, like healthier eating or something, those kind of things. Or when the moon moves through Libra, when it could affect your skin and your veins and bladder. Am I around people that I know makes my skin crawl or makes my veins pop out because I've been there for them so many times, but every time when I think about how they stab me in the back, the veins pop out. My veins pop out, right? Or my skin starts crawling, or I start itching because they just irritate my skin when they're around. You starting to listen to your body. You really, really starting to listen to your body. So that's the light side of the moon, right? So that's what somebody's starting to pay attention to. Here we have pray for them. Don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. Make room for a new blessing. Throat chakra cleanse. Somebody wants to call you, but they haven't changed. Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice. Your enemy's plan backfired. Schedule a vacation, right? Yeah. So your new home awaits. Don't return their call. Your gifts have increased. Document your dreams day and night. Your ex was on some kind of an assignment. First red flag, pray and meditate. Don't cast your pearls before swine. And so it's saying you're learning how to enforce boundaries. Ex could mean ex-love interest. It could be ex-friend, ex-whomever. Whoever's excommunicated out of your vault. So out of your circle. But somebody's learning how to see something really from a higher frequency. Some people don't want to be invited to certain circles because they really listen. They know how to use the light side of the moon. They want to continue. And the moon would be like your emotions. You want to land on the light side of your emotions. So you warn people. Like I say on my channel, I take it all the way down to the lowest frequency where the veil is thin, to warn people this could land you on the dark side of your emotions. The dark side of the moon, those are the dark side of your emotions. So hey, let's come back up to a higher frequency. That's not negative. That's letting people know, hey, this could land you on the dark side of your emotions. Come on, let's go to a higher frequency so you can accentuate the positives in yourself and in others. There's a lot of people that's still stuck in zombified mode because people just kind of, okay, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that, you're not enough, you're not good enough, you're not this and that. And people thinking just speaking positive. No, people need you to go down, meet them where they are in the spiritual realm and say, hey, listen, how are these people, how in the world can they judge you? Because that's what's hidden in the death card. How in the world can these people judge you when they started out where you were? And even if they didn't start out where you were, their ancestors started out where they were. So they on the back of their ancestors, right? They should be thanking their ancestors. Their ancestors made sacrifices for them. Hang in there. You're going to be all right. You're going to be just fine. But some people don't recognize death when they see it. They don't have that sixth sense. So they don't want to go, oh, this person just negative. They just, I don't want to be around that. They just negative. No, somebody only see death when they see it. They don't recognize it when they see it. Somebody just checked out. Divine abundance. You were born to align with love's will and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundant, not chase it. So somebody is gaining abundance of knowledge. That's what this is. You're gaining an abundance of knowledge. Yeah, so y'all be surprised at how many people thrive off of energies who are in a low space. Some people thrive off of those energies. They like going around people in a low space because they just feed off that energy. Because they always get to say they're the ones that cheered somebody up. They can't wait to get around people to say that. I know I'm not talking to any of you all, but some people are like that. So the moment somebody has a good time, they always want to remind them of the last time, because I know the last time I talked to you, you were going through this and that. Some people are not strong enough to say, man, or whoever you are, dang, you seem like you want me to be in a low space. Like somebody like me would tell somebody straight up, you sound like you want me to be in a low space. Because every time I come around, you want to remind me of the last time I shared something with you. So guess what? How about we make a deal? I'm not going to make you familiar with stuff. I'll take it to somebody who really don't want to see me in a low space. How about that? That's an open enemy. That's an example of an open enemy. Somebody who you tell them something sacred, and every time you got a smile on your face, they want to constantly remind you of that thing you said you shared with them, and that's sacred. To bring you back down, like they pop in your balloon. They want to take you back down to death. They want to take you back to that space after you work so hard to ascend higher. Those people got to go. And it's all over the place. It's in these subliminal messages. It's all over the place. That's why some people are still stuck on processing stuff, and they can't figure it out for the life of them. Why there are some groups of people that's advancing, and then there's some people that are not. They just stuck. Here we have stretch it out, triangle. Emotionally, some people cannot, but then you got some people who will go all the way down to say, okay, it's shining light. Hey, you're not forgotten. You're still alive. You're still breathing. Come on, let's go back up to a higher frequency. Those people, how dare they talk? How dare they judge somebody, by first look at you, by somebody's first impression of you. They had a first impression that you weren't smart enough, that you weren't, you weren't educated, you aren't this and you not that. How dare they do that, right? And so then somebody would say that somebody saying that is arrogant, but they not. Sometimes you just got to let somebody know, like, hold on, who you think you are? You just one generation. You just one, your family, somebody just, Okay, so we had to make a little bit more time here. Yeah, but the whole goal is really to be compassionate. Right? To be compassionate, to know when a person has gone into zombified mode. They're trying to make a very powerful transformation. This is a death card, right? And so part of my assignment is to go all the way down to the lowest frequency where the veil really is thin. Because a lot of people have forgotten about people, and you don't know what's going on behind people's closed doors. Some people have zombified out. They've been told, even behind closed doors, they're not smart enough. They'll never amount to anything. Y'all saw the movie The 5 Heartbeats. Where the guy is, he told his father, oh, look, I made this group or whatever he said in the movie. And the father said, I'm not Ish and you never going to be Ish. That's a real stuff. That's for real. That happens to a lot of people. Where you got some people who they don't want people around them to advance they only want them to do as good as they're doing, much less better than what they're doing, right? And everybody don't have the comeback that maybe you or I would have, Leos, that would just say to them, you must be out of your mind, right? And so no matter how much their parents could instill in them and say, hey, look, some people, it takes them a minute to process. They trying to process, like, I've been hearing this so much in my life. Maybe I'm not built for certain things, so a parent could tell their kids all day long, like, okay, you're this and you're that and so on and so forth. But if they don't have the support or whatever, they don't feel like, they keep hearing it over and over. I'll keep telling you how powerful words are. If they don't have the support, somebody have to come back down to a lower frequency to keep reminding people. And people think people are coddling, but that's because somebody knows somebody is constantly being talked to a certain way, right? So this is looking at your cards here. Somebody's gifts have increased. Whoever you are, somebody's gifts have increased. You'll no longer be casting your pearls before swine. Looking at your cards, this is somebody's ex is on assignment, but you're gonna be paying more attention to when somebody somebody has zoned out, whether it's your teenager, young adult, whoever, you're gonna start paying more attention when somebody has zoned out. When you're gonna start being able to, um, because this is water right here. This is sacral chakra. Basic need for sacral chakra is variety. You're going to start seeing when somebody is empty when it comes to variety, because you're going to see a switch and change of now what their variety has become, right? What they're mirroring. You're going to start seeing that. So if you say, for instance, somebody is, okay, I don't used to see them drinking like that. Well, they becoming somebody else, right? But not positive, right? Not something healthy or positive or fun, or, you know, you're gonna start seeing something different, right? So that they're around people that they feel like, okay, they coming alive again. You know, y'all know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all get the point. So here we have divine abundance. Somebody is becoming more abundant in learning about the difference between dark moon magic and light moon magic, or light moon energy and words. Yeah, somebody needed some closure. Somebody got some closure. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. But yeah, somebody is you're breaking some kind of cycle, chain, and curse in your family, like in your immediate family. You're breaking some kind of cycle, chain, and curse with your kids, grandkids, and so on and so forth. Because again, planting the seed, and whoever's carrying the seed, something can come from one side of the family or both sides of the family, right? And so you're now seeing something from the power of the divine masculine and divine feminine. We're not talking about just man, woman. Everybody embodies both divine masculine to divine feminine energy. Sometimes it's good to take the cape off and just sit back and read between the lines and not see everything as just negative, negative, negative. When a person is constantly saying, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, somebody is going to start learning how to read between the lines. Somebody is already, they've been hearing it so long, they just need somebody to say, you know, yes, you are. I don't know who told you that, but yes, you are. And if you're around those people, those are the people you need to get from around. You need to get from around those people. You're not handsome enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not this. You're not that enough. They're already transitioning out of here. And so somebody was trying to manifest something during dark moon magic. All you need to do is learn about the light side of the moon. That's what I'm trying to keep y'all on the light side of the moon, so that you and your loved ones won't have somebody that they call themselves talking to them under the moonlight, acting like they're their savior, but they secretly putting a spell on them, a dark spell on them. So the enemy's playing backfire. Ain't nobody had time for these stupid games. People playing all kinds of games out here. So yeah, somebody's ex was on an assignment, but that assignment, that's canceled. That's a wrap. That's a done deal. So, like I said, for the next couple of days, y'all will be getting out and getting some air, you know, purging on this new moon, and then being just grateful that you're ascending higher, right? And that you're balanced out. You're not going to see everything as a negative in other people, or that you're the light to other people's darkness. You're going to see yourself as balanced out within. light and dark within. I've gone through some rough times, and when I see other people in dark space, I recognize that. So I have it within me to help pull somebody out of dark space, right? That's what I see for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.